Welcome.
We ain't afraid of no ghosts.
This is your number one podcast for ghoulies and ghosties and long-legged beasties. Bringing you everything you need to know about things that go bump in the night and interviewing the personalities behind them. Make sure your doors and windows are locked. Now, here are your hosts, your ghost hosts, Scott and Julie.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Paranormal Project. It is just me tonight. Julie's home with a head cold, so I'm running the show. I have to tell you, if you watch our show and get dragged here every week, you are really going to love this show because our next guest literally was dragged here tonight. She is the one and only, Monique Toosoon, who is the Drag Queen Paranormal Investigator. So this is a show you don't want to miss. It's going to be a lot of campy fun. And she is backstage. I'm going to bring her out here. Monique, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Oh my God. I'm great. So I got to tell you, I first heard of you. I can't remember if it was an ad that I saw for Wilson Castle, or it could have even been mentioned in Murdoch Whitney. I can't remember which one. And I thought, what is this all about? And but the thing is you're like selling out events and people are coming. You've got a great audience. How did all of this happen? Have you been investigating for a while?
So I've been investigating for about 20 years, mostly as a boy. I didn't start thinking of putting myself in drag and doing it in drag until about 5 years ago. And when I did it the first time, I got responded to by the spirits. They responded to the fact that I was in drag, and I got this really cool EVP that said, he's a lady. And I was like, oh my God, they're responding to the fact that I'm in drag. And it seemed like the energy was very much elevated that night. So I don't know if the drag added to that, but I mean, more now that we've been doing it for a while, I'm realizing that the drag is kind of a battery for the energy, because what is a higher energy than drag? There really isn't anything. So it just started coming about that one time I did it. I got that great EVP. And then I started thinking, like, why am I not doing events like this? Like, this is gold. I think I'm the only ghost hunting drag queen in the world. I don't think I've met another one. I've never seen another one on Facebook or anything.
Me either. And it's so funny because it doesn't seem like it goes, but it works for you. You know, I mean, it's hysterical.
It works really well too. And like, I've done places like in drag and out of drag, and the locations are way crazier when I'm in drag.
Hey Monique, just 1 second. Chanel, is her audio a little off, or is it me? I don't know if it's your mic. I don't know if I'm hearing. It seems like it's skipping a little bit.
Is it
Chanel?
still?
Yeah, definitely. Sounds okay to you? Okay. It could be me on this end. Danielle says it sounds okay. Let's see what happens. We'll keep going, and if there's a problem, we'll address it. But
sure.
But that's great. So. Yeah, and so you said the activity is a lot crazier when you're there.
It's almost like when they put me in a building, it zaps the whole place, and all of a sudden everything has a lot more energy to feed off of and to respond and play with. And it's really cool when I get personalized responses, like from that he's a lady one, or like at Wilson Castle, for example, the colonel that is the current owner's grandfather. He hits on me like crazy when I'm there in drag. And I found out from Denise, who is the owner, that her grandfather, who is the colonel, was kind of like this dirty old man in real life who would like hit on everything at the party. Yeah. And I'm like, all eyes are on me. And I'm telling her this at the castle. And I'm like, I really feel like this creepy old man following me around. And then she tells me, she's like, that's my grandfather.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because, I remember Denise at Wilson Castle telling me that her grandfather never came through anything. And the first time I was there, he talked to me, and we were on the spirit box, and I said, "What is your name?" And he said, "Herbert."
Oh, yes.
And she was like, "Wow, it's amazing." So he's definitely there, keeping after the place. You know, he's watching over. That is a fun place. Do you have any plans to be up there anytime soon?
So I had 4 events for this coming year booked, but I only have 3 now. I canceled one of them because I have something else going on now. But
Okay.
yeah, I'll be there 3 more events. One's in May, or no, actually they're June, September, and October.
Oh, and those are really good time to go. So October can actually get cold. We
Freezing.
were up there in October one year. It was freezing at
Oh, yeah,
night.
we slept
Freezing.
in one room, like all huddled together in like a big ball, like a big adult slumber party on the floor. It was so cold in there in October. But you know what? It was so fun. So it made it all worth it.
Oh my God. It's amazing. It's amazing. People are saying hi to you.
Oh, I
What
don't
does
see
this
the
say
chat.
here? Dab Davy. I don't know what that is. Do you belong to a bourgeoisie group? I don't know what that is. Do
No, I have
you?
no clue what that even is.
I don't know. So I guess you don't belong to one.
Clearly, I don't know what it is.
I mean, clearly you don't. Clearly you don't belong to one of those. I have no idea. I have no idea what that is. So yeah, you are going to be what? Mistress of ceremonies, I should say, for the Mass Paracon, which is coming up.
Next September, I believe the 28th and 29th, or 29th and 30th, at the John Carver Inn in Plymouth.
That's going to be great if anybody comes out this way.
And
Hi,
yeah,
Kathy.
it'll be a lot of
And hi.
blast. A lot of
Yeah,
fun.
that should be a good time. And you know, Sam's a fun guy. We've had him on the show before. He's a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
so you just did Conjuring House with him. How was that?
Oh my God, the Conjuring House. So really cool, because this is a place that I've done as a boy. So I did the Conjuring House as a boy for my birthday like 2 summers ago, and it seemed to be like a really quiet night for me, and I was kind of let down by it in a sense. And then I was asked to host New Year's Eve there because they wanted to do something unique with it, and why not have a drag queen hosting New Year's Eve? And so Sam Baltrusis did it with me, and this event had the most activity, I think, out of any event I've ever done. The house was lit like
Really?
a Christmas tree that night. Everything was going off. Things were flying off of the nightstands. It was just an insanely active night. The house did not stop whistling at us. We went ghost hunting outside
Wow.
in the woods at 2 o'clock in the morning in the rain. Me in full drag running through the woods in platform shoes. It was just
How do you do that? How do
incredible.
you run? I mean, because you're tall anyway, right?
Yeah, out of drag, I'm about 6 feet. So in drag, I'm probably another 4 inches on that.
6'4" in drag. And how do you run in heels? You know, when,
Hey, I
when
was
you're
in
getting
platforms, but they're just as hard to run in his heels. But you know what? I was living my best like Blair Witch fantasy at that moment, like 2 o'clock in the morning with like 20 guests and Sam Baltrusis in the woods behind the Conjuring House, ghost hunting near the lake, trying to find the elemental spirit, because we believe there's like an elemental spirit there that's actually causing most of that activity on that property.
There's a lot of crazy stuff that's haunting that place. That place is just like the whole property is just crazy.
Yeah, have you ever been?
Oh my God, I've been to the Conjuring House several times.
Okay.
Kathy says I couldn't run in heels, let alone walk in them anymore.
I don't
I
go
don't know how you
hunting
do it.
Yeah, I don't go
What do
hunting heels. I usually wear like platforms or boots, because a lot of the places actually don't want me ruining their floors.
Oh, that makes
So,
sense.
and the heels would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
on the
yeah.
floor, or if I fell or something, they probably wouldn't want that either.
No, I mean, you got to be careful. Some of the places we go into can be uneven, and you
Oh,
know. Have you been on the USS Salem? Have you been on that ship yet,
I
or no?
I have not. I tried to get onto it a couple of years ago, but I never really got a response from them, to be honest.
Mm,
But I've been connected through people now that are trying to get me on there at some point. I will.
yeah,
I've actually never ghost hunted a boat.
really. Oh, it's a lot of
Never.
fun. Going on. Actually, we don't. We're talking about booking. We haven't booked it yet. I'm telling you the wrong thing, but I think we are now. Money. If Maria says, if Monique is the new Julie, I'm all in. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, we can't get rid of Julie, but I don't know. We may have to do a show, Monique. We'll see how this plays out. I don't know.
Oh God, no! I'm not stealing anyone's job.
Nobody said, well, trust me, it's not for the pay. I can tell you that.
Because
We all
anything we do
volunteer
for
our
the
time,
pay.
but it's a blast. We have such a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, when you were out at the Conjuring House, you did that outside, you know, and you were videoing, right? Like outside in the
Yeah.
rain.
There's that TikTok video.
TikTok video, you were it was shared by Adam Berry from Kindred Spirits, right?
Yeah, it was shared by him last night actually, and we posted it 2 weeks ago on TikTok, and it went up to 33,000 views in just a few days. And it's been kind of sitting there at 33,000 views, but that's probably one of the most viewed videos I think I even have on TikTok.
It's amazing. I don't know what the algorithm is on that. I don't know what makes people, it's just, I don't know. Maybe because I'm a little older, I just don't quite get it. I don't understand the whole TikTok thing and what you're supposed to do with it. I've got little clips and did you see my Elvis video? Did you
No.
see that on Facebook? Oh my God. Elvis. So if I can share this, I will see if I can share it. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to tell you about it while we're doing this. So I was at a location in Massachusetts the other night, and I'm pulling it up. I may be able to show you. So we were joking. There's someone within the paranormal field who is okay, hang on one second. Shut that off. Okay. So he is in the paranormal field, and he likes to talk about how he's able to connect with all these dead celebrities. And he, it's John Bonet, it's Barbara Walters and all these people, right?
Yeah.
And we chuckle it a little bit. I don't know if it's, I don't know what his thing is, right? But we were sitting there, and I said, "Hey, let's conjure up Lisa Marie," because she had just died, right?
Oh God, yeah.
And we were on a break. And I'm saying, "Lisa Marie, are you there?" And you can hear a voice say, "I'm Lisa Marie." And I said, "Uh-oh, all right, I have to record this." I wasn't recording it because we were joking. So I turned on the recorder. Hang on 1 minute. I am going to share this for you because it's kind of, let's see. Screen. Chrome tab. This one.
And where did you do this? Was this like in your studio?
This was, I'm going to share this to you. No, this was at a haunted location.
Oh, okay.
Check this out. Let me know if you can hear it. I'm going to back it up here.
All right.
And I apologize for the foul language. It shocked me.
Speaking with Lisa Marie Presley. Is your father's name Elvis?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's really crazy.
Was your father famous?
Is this necrophonic?
Your father was famous?
No, I'll tell you in a minute. Yeah.
Wow.
He sang. And it wasn't. It was the Miracle Box, which is one of Huff Paranormal's thing. And, was it Lisa Marie? Probably not. Somebody was probably pulling my leg because, why would she be coming to Rockland, Massachusetts? But it was truly fascinating to me that we were joking around, and all of a sudden, I'm Lisa Marie. I'm like, what are you talking about? But, I get them anywhere. They talk to me everywhere.
But do you get
not surprising. Say it again.
Do you get like celebrities without them being called on to
No,
you?
I've never, ever, ever had that happen before. Ever. Never. In fact, we weren't even really planning on it. We were just on a break from investigating. And I said, "Oh, let's see if we can conjure up Lisa Marie, And sure enough, I don't think it was, I would be very surprised if it was Lisa Marie Presley. I really would. Why would you want to talk to me? Right?
Though, that location, even though she didn't pass there or whatnot, we had something weird happen to us at the Conjuring House. And there, I don't want to say a name on the air because I don't want to put names out there, but I was talking to somebody who is a celebrity on New Year's Eve while ghost hunting the Conjuring House. And she was telling me that there was a woman named Sarah watching me and asking when I was going to come and see her again. And I was like, oh, that's so weird. And we were getting Sarah at the Conjuring House at the same time. And we're trying to figure out how this person is correlating this Sarah. And Sarah, why is Sarah with us? We don't even know who this Sarah is. It doesn't make any sense in the Conjuring House. Well, it turns out we were communicating with Sarah Johnson from Wilson Castle, and she must have somehow followed us to the Conjuring House because within 5 minutes we figured out it was Sarah Johnson. And then the person who was telling me that there was a woman named Sarah literally was like, oh my God, I've met this woman before. She's from Wilson Castle. And as we figured it out, this person figured it out. And I just thought it was so crazy because the only thing she said was, when are you going to come visit me again? So the castle.
Oh, because you meant up north.
Yeah, I was at the Conjuring House when this happened.
Now, the celebrity that told you this, were they at Conjuring House?
No. And the celebrity is a medium. And a lot of people, I may not know that about this person either, but this person was connecting to one of the guests that she is friends with at our event. And at the same time was connecting to me. She was sending me messages like crazy on New Year's Eve, telling me like about things that she was seeing. She told me about this male attachment that I have that a few people have told me about, but I haven't quite put my finger on who he is. But just random stuff that she would have never known unless she was in the building with us, because there was a point in the night where I was in the room to the left of the well where they had that pentagram drawn that somebody had cleaned up after the fact. And I was sitting in that room and I was having the sensation that I had never had before in my life. It felt like I was being almost not felt up because it wasn't dirty. I was being explored by lots of different little snake-like things. Like I felt a whole bunch of like snakes almost on me. And it was just such a weird feeling. And this person said in a message later, and she goes, the thing with the tentacles is trying to distract you. And I was like, how did you know that? Because I was just describing it as like snakes or like smoke snakes almost, because you can't feel the mass, but you can feel the air and you can feel the movement. And
Right.
in and out of the pool of my dress. And it was almost like it was trying to figure me out.
Yeah, that house is wild though. There's some strange stuff in there. I don't know. I mean, I've been there. Someday I'll show you my photo of the little boy. I mean, it's crazy, the stuff that the whole place is wacky. And the neighbor next door has a succubus.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Is
know.
it me?
It wasn't you. I know. After I said it, I said, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that. But no, actually, the former owner of the Conjuring House told me that it's the whole neighborhood over there. It's crazy.
It's the land for sure. We got like, so one of the mediums that's my really good friend that I work with a lot, her name is Nora. She's Native American, so she has a lot of ties to like Native American culture and the land, and she can spot like an elemental spirit a mile away. And the whole night at the Conjuring House, she was connecting to what she felt was just something that protects the land. There's something Native American. Obviously, there's more going on there. There's bodies buried there. There's, war stuff.
Right.
It's not just one thing, but she actually got a name before the night was over from this Native American spirit. And we've started doing research on it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We're going, I'm going to be back there again. I think March 11th I'm going.
Oh,
So it's been a while. I haven't been in a little over a year, but I'm kind of anxious to getting back and seeing what's there. We've had some really crazy stuff.
Yeah. I'm getting some more dates there for this year too as well. And I'm also going to be hosting New Year's Eve again next year.
Are you? That's exciting.
Yeah, it went really well. So we're going back for round 2.
That'll be fun. So, and if people want to book these events with you, so if they want to go to Conjuring House or any of these events, let's just say Conjuring House, can they book them through you, or do they book them through Conjuring House?
So they actually go to MoniqueToosoon.com, which is my website, and it takes them to Eventbrite to buy the tickets. Everything's done through Eventbrite, just makes it cleaner and easier. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and then they just buy their tickets, and we have multiple options now. A year ago when I started doing the tours, like they were selling out really quick, but we had a lot of people that were telling me that like we can't afford to go, and I'd love to go, and because the tickets are a little higher because they're sleepovers and food is included and whatnot. But so we had a lot of people saying that it would be better if we could add a little smaller ticket. So we actually added a ticket that doesn't go overnight, and those people can now buy a ticket that's half price, and they get to stay until like 1 a.m. instead. So they get to do the experience, just not sleep there, and get the VIP treatment.
How many people do you book when you go up to like Wilson Castle? Because that's a big place. I don't know.
Yeah. So Wilson Castle, like if the sleepover amount is 20, but like now we added on 10 more tickets for non-sleepover people.
Total of 30.
So yeah, and we tend to use about 4 investigators when we do it. And I usually hire like a medium of some sort other than myself because I'm more of a small, of course. So I usually tend to hire a medium and then some other kind of investigator. I try to hire different investigators too, so that we get different experience and different techniques. And it's kind of a unique situation. I don't think you're going to go ghost hunting with a drag queen anywhere else.
No, I can't think of any other place at this, you know.
I
can't. I that's why I was like, I got to get that one on the show because this is one of those situations where you're not going to see it every day.
No, and with what's happening just from the exposure I've gotten in the past year from these events, and I booked 3 new locations for this year. I've been asked to host a Paracon. Like I'm blowing up a little bit. I'm doing a lot of cool stuff that I can't talk about yet.
Good for you. That's great. What other events do you have coming up? You have some.
So next month, actually, I am going to be on March 4th, or that's not next month yet. On 3/4, I'm going to be at the Isaac Morse and Murdoch Whitney House.
Oh yeah, up in
Haunted Toy Museum. That's a really fun one because it's 2 buildings. Right. And then same month in March, I think it's the 10th and the 11th. I'm actually going to be at Hinsdale and Wildwood Sanitarium. And then after that, I have Hinsdale booked in April for 2 nights as well. I'm going to be hosting tours at Hinsdale for 2 nights.
Have you been to Hinsdale House before?
No, not yet.
Me either. I've not been. I was at Wildwood Sanitarium over the spring. I did they had a little, kind of small little Paracon. It was nice. I went in September, but I didn't. Hi, Kathy. I didn't investigate there. They had the investigation at night, but it's actually a little on the smaller side, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
so you can't have a ton of people. Yeah, it is. No. It's a little on the smaller side, but I've heard it's great. And Hinsdale House is supposedly crazy.
Yeah, and we're going to investigate the land too, not just the inside of the house. We're going to do a lot outside too. There's a lot going on out there too. I believe I've heard from other people in Elemental there as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember who told me, but somebody mentioned that their feelings was that there was some sort of elemental on the property.
You know, that's what they say about the ship too. The USS Salem has an elemental, and it's interesting. It'll move around the ship. I mean, you'll see it'll be in the hospital one day, or it'll be in the officer's ward, or it'll be somewhere else near the engine room. It moves around, and you can tell because the mel meters and K2s will go off to, you know, but you also they'll interact with you too. They'll give you names, and it's crazy. That's a place you need to get to.
I you know what? It's so close that I'm going to get there at some point soon, hopefully. Have you done the Queen Mary? Speaking of boats,
I have not.
That is on my bucket list.
Now that would be good for you. You know, the Queen on the Queen. I mean, I can't think of you know,
kind of like the Queen of the Castle.
What's that?
Queen of the Castle.
Queen of the Castle. I've heard the Queen Mary's amazing. I haven't investigated on the West Coast at all. I also want to go to some of these ghost towns and some of these places.
The one in California, I hear a lot about. I have a friend in California who does paranormal stuff. And he was telling me about the abandoned paranormal town that's been on like the Osborne show. Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. And said it was crazy there. And then also Winchester House. I would love to do Winchester. Yeah. It doesn't seem like they let just anyone in there, but
Danielle, do you know Danielle? She's just, I don't know if Danielle Rose. Hi, Danielle. Ever heard Battleship Cove? Yes. And a matter of fact, Danielle, I slept on that ship, USS Massachusetts, when I was in Boy Scouts. So that's like whenever that was. That was a very long time ago. I don't know that they're haunted. I've never heard anything about them being haunted. I always thought I should like go on with a voice recorder someday and
or a camera watching you sleep all night. That's one of my favorite things to do. Sleep with a camera on me.
You could, I guess. Yeah.
Wake up and see if something's trying to touch you while you're sleeping.
Yeah, you know, I know the ship, the Salem is like shadow creatures and crawlers and I mean all kinds of stuff on that ship. It's the real deal. It's creepy.
Danielle Rose that just commented actually is someone that came to one of my Wilson Castle events that I've known for a long time in the New Hampshire scene up here, and has been like such a huge supporter of mine. One of my
Who is that? Who is that?
Danielle Rose that said hi earlier and talked about the battleship.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Danielle Rose. Okay, great. Yeah. So she's obviously local because she's here in Massachusetts. I'm in Massachusetts. She must be local too. So she
Yep.
knows about Battleship Cove. It's a great place.
I need to get there. I really do. I'm gonna get on that this week.
Yeah, it's great. And another place I've never been is the Lizzie Borden house, and they say that's great too.
I've been there, I want to say like 5-ish times, and I don't think I've ever had an epic experience there.
Oh, no kidding.
No.
Yeah, and the other reason I say that is it's right near Battleship Cove. You know, they're right in the same city.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Battleship Cove and Lizzie Borden are both Fall River.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've spent at least 3 nights in the Lizzie Borden house and been there around 5 times. And I don't think anything significant has happened to me there aside from sleep paralysis, which I really hate when that happens in a haunted location.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So what sparked your interest in all of this?
I've always been into horror ever since I was a kid. Anything scary, always been into the paranormal stuff. When I was a kid, I had a weird experience that kind of scared me a lot, and I think that's kind of how I blocked my gift a little bit. I blocked my sensitivity because I woke up in the middle of a night one time when I was a child, and I slept on a bunk bed, and I woke up on the floor. And you don't wake up on the floor from a bunk bed, you wake up from the fall to the floor. Like, I woke up peacefully wrapped in a blanket on the floor, and I had put my arms down to like sit up and be like, how did I get on the floor? And when I put my arms down, I felt 2 giant hairy legs, or hairy something, like hairy things of some sorts. And
Sure, they weren't yours?
no, and I was home alone. I was home alone.
Oh, no, I said your legs. They weren't your legs.
Thanks. No, but honestly, I was home alone, so it freaked me out even more. And then, like,
Yeah.
you know, like I blocked myself after that. I'm like, I don't want to know anything. I don't want to see it. And then when in my 20s, I started like experimenting with ghost hunting and doing that whole thing. And it's kind of like a drug. You get so addicted to it so fast because a lot of it's adrenaline.
It is. It's an addiction. It's crazy, and you get that little taste of something, and then you want a little more. You know.
Yeah.
And I don't ghost hunt alone, so I don't think I would do. There's plenty of places I've been in I wouldn't want to wander around by myself, but when I go with friends, I don't really get scared.
I always say that I'm not afraid and that I'll do anything on my own, and then somebody tries to like lock me in a basement by myself, and then I have to draw the limits there because I don't know if I could do it. If there was a TV,
that happened to me in Winchendon.
Yeah,
I got put in the basement in Winchendon, but I didn't feel like that place was too
at the mansion or the
Murdoch Whitney mansion. Yeah, not the Morse house.
I have a good story from the basement there.
All right,
so
which one? At the big one? No, it was the Morse house. I was in the basement. It was the one across the street.
Basement to me is very odd, but very quiet.
Yeah.
But the Murdoch Whitney basement. So one night we were ghost hunting in there, and this was when we were on a tour with another company, and we were in the basement up there, of course, and we had the Ovilus going, and the Ovilus said human sacrifice, Rob, and bacon. So my boy name is Rob, and I have a tattoo of bacon on my foot. Like,
what about bacon on your foot? What is it?
I have a tattoo of bacon on my foot.
Oh, you have a tattoo? Oh, geez, really?
So the Ovilus, human sacrifice, Rob, bacon. Like 3 completely significant to me words, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to be in this basement anymore.
And I don't know about the human sacrifice. I mean, like, I like bacon, but you know, I don't know about it. I don't know about human sacrifice.
Yeah, that was a little weird. Yeah, something didn't like me.
I don't know. It's bizarre. And you've been to SK Pierce too, you said, right? Which is right down the street.
SK Pierce is actually where I got He's a Lady.
Oh, really?
Yeah, SK Pierce is a really cool location. It's so beautiful.
I love that place. I used to live like 4 doors down from that building.
Oh, really?
4 or 5 doors down the side, that side street, 4 or 5 doors down. But that was early 90s. So it was like between 90 and 95, I lived there. And that place was it was it was abandoned. It really should have been condemned, actually. And then, somebody moved in, and it was just, I don't know, it was a horror show. There's new people. I mean, you've seen it. They've come in and completely gone over the whole place. It's incredible. It's
So
just a
gorgeous.
beautiful, beautiful space. That place is where I had the craziest paranormal experience of any place I've ever been. And it was in that building. And we saw this, Julie was with me. We saw this black thing come across the ceiling and disappear above the chandelier. And I couldn't believe it. And of all the places, I think, have you ever been to Madison Seminary?
No,
Because that's the
so.
creepiest place I've ever been.
Oh, that would be like
Creepy.
bucket list.
Oh my God. It's phenomenally good. I mean, it's crazy, but I didn't like walking around there by myself either. It is really creepy.
Yeah, we were talking about doing it next summer because I think we're going to try and hit up Michigan Paracon.
Yeah, you should. Now, I haven't got my tickets for this year. I was there in August, and it was great. I had such a great time.
Yeah, it just
But,
seems like
yeah,
the
you should.
center of everyone there.
Everybody's there. I mean, anybody who's anybody goes to Michigan in terms of celebrity wise, you know what I mean? It was really, just a great, great experience. We had a lot of fun. I do want to go back, but I haven't booked my tickets yet, so I don't know. We'll
Yeah, I
see.
haven't booked yet either, but
The
possible.
problem is, I flew into Detroit, and it was hours before we got back up. You have to drive and drive and drive. And if you fly there, the flights are sketchy. Like you
Oh.
can't always get in when you want to get in. They have very limited schedules, and if the weather's bad, they cancel flights. So
Oh.
I flew into Detroit and drove up, but it took me, I think we landed at 10 in the morning, and I didn't get up there till 9 at night. By the time we got the car,
Oh my God.
took off, it's a long drive from
Yeah, that
Detroit.
wouldn't be worth it to me. I'm not sitting in a car.
And then we got a flat tire on the rental, and they said, "Oh, you're too far out. We're not going to, we can't get you a new car. You'll have to put the donut on and take it to I'm just reading a message, and I'm going to put it on there in a second. And take it back to Detroit." I'm like, I'm not driving 6 hours on a donut wheel.
No,
That's crazy. I ended up having to go to Canada. I was glad I had my passport. I went to Canada, and they were able to get me a new car, or a new tire, so I didn't have to deal with it.
Oh my God.
Amanda's saying, "Scott and Monique, I'm going to message you. I would love to have you come investigate my house to hopefully get some answers on what's going on."
Yeah, she has asked me to investigate her house before, and I keep trying to get there, but you know what? It just hasn't worked out yet. Something's tormenting her children.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, there's something going on in the children's room. I don't know if it's necessarily tormenting them, but there's something active up there, and
It's
to go
scary.
and find out its intention and make sure it's not or whatnot. I would love to go in there though, Amanda. So definitely send me a message. I'll get there as soon as I can.
I always say, if you have a religious affiliation, whatever it is, call your religious leader and have them come and do some kind of whatever they do.
Yeah.
If it's a priest, it's a blessing. If it's a clergy, Protestant, I don't know what they do, but that's a good place to start. And also,
dirty martinis.
you also want to check the EMFs too, because that can make things go crazy.
Oh, true. I didn't even think of that. Like the electrical in the house.
There's been situations where, there was one particular room where they were getting all these spirits and, voices, and come to find out the EMF was like crazy. They moved their bed to the other wall and it was fine.
Oh, that is kind of nuts though. I don't think I've ever had a situation with EMF before.
It's not always paranormal. I mean, a lot of times it is, but it's not always.
Yeah.
You just never know. You never know.
I think everything's a lot of hearsay, but you really hope for those level, class A EVPs or class B, the like clear ones. And it's good to have like your sensitivity, because then you can confirm with equipment that what's happening is actually happening.
Yeah, I like that. And, it's funny. Sometimes I go into these haunted places and I shut myself down a little bit, because I don't really want to let them in that close unless I know what's going on. Julie's a lot more clairsentient. So we'll go into a spot and she'll right away like, "Oh no, I'm not going in here." She can tell, she can feel it. I can tell that there's stuff there, and I'll try to see if they'll communicate with me a little bit. Sometimes I get stuff. Sometimes I kind of block it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be intense, and you
What's
just
the
don't know
scariest
what you're
place
getting
you've
yourself
been?
into. What's that?
What's the scariest place you've been?
Really and truly, probably Madison Seminary.
Wow, really? I really want to go there now.
It's more so. Oh, Adam's a great guy out there, so you get a chance to work with Adam. It's the Shanley's pretty creepy too. I have to be honest. I love the Shanley, but I think Madison has much more of a creep factor. Think
Okay.
of have you been to the Shanley?
Oh, multiple times, at least 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
the third floor.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
don't like the
imagine.
attic.
Well, that's what all of Madison Seminary is like, and it's
Oh,
expansive. It goes on forever. I mean, you couldn't possibly spend the whole night there and see everything. So it's really it's really creepy. There's no lighting. There's footsteps. There's crawlers. We've seen balls move across the floor. I mean, it's nuts.
I've only
You
been
get the
to a couple of places. They're not that common for me.
No, and you get the residual, like you can hear we've got conversations on tape of, people talking about, you got to go make the bed, don't forget to eat your food, and you can hear people chattering in the background. It's crazy.
Yeah, people playing
Crazy.
cards in the gentlemen's quarters. Like you can hear them gambling.
Yes.
The
Yes.
brothel. I think the brothel would probably like me upstairs.
The brothel, it's so funny. And this is what was odd about the Shanley. Now we're talking about the Shanley Hotel. So there's the two sides. You've got the brothel and the gentleman's quarters on one side. Nothing was happening. It was just like dead as a doornail. There was not a thing. Then we went over to the other side and there was nothing over there. So Julie says, I'm going to go to bed. She says, I have to drive back. We're going to drive, she was driving her car. We went with her. She says, I just want to get a good night's sleep. I can't stay up all night. Well, that's when it started. And we heard with our own ears in the attic this old phone ring.
Hmm.
And Cindy, one of my friends, said, that sounds like a phone. Who are you trying to call? And you can hear a woman say, this is Julie, with her voice. Julie's voice, the one downstairs.
Oh, she had a mimic.
She had a mimic. It was
That's
crazy.
I love it when that happens.
Oh, and then the whole Adam thing, the serial killer, when he came through, if you go on my, I don't know if you've seen that on my Facebook page, the Paranormal Project radio show, the YouTube page, not the Facebook page, YouTube on Paranormal Project. There's a little clip. It's a little clip of us on the third floor. And we were getting some voices. And, there's supposed to be that serial killer up there named Adam. And I said, is this Adam? And you can hear a man say, I'm Adam.
So,
like, okie dokie.
What are your thoughts on Adam? Because there's a lot of interesting theories about Adam and who he is and all of this. And I get different things when I'm there each time.
I've only been there once, so I don't have a sense. They had told me about Adam, so I asked for Adam. But we were sitting in a room. There were 3 of us. I was here. Cindy was next to me. And then over here was this other woman. Over there, like across the room, there was a folding chair with a round flashlight on it. Like the long tubular flashlights that are round.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
when you sit in a metal folding chair, it kind of has a dip in the middle a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what the flashlight was.
Oh.
And he was swearing at us. And I said, did you just say a bad word? And you can hear it on the tape. He says, yeah, what about it? And the flashlight, you heard it roll and it went fing right off the chair and flew across the room.
Oh.
That was creepy. It was you could hear us gasping because we were the only ones in that room.
That's
so there's something with him. And I don't know what your feeling is too. I don't know if I trust the fact that there are children there. And people will say, oh, there's children up there. And we were communicating with something that was claiming to be a child. But why would a child haunt a place like that?
So
on the third floor with serial killers and prostitutes. And I mean, I just have no idea.
One thing about my ability or my gift is it tends to be children for me, or like pervy old men for some reason. I don't know what it is. I tend to get a lot of children though. Like Wilson Castle is a children's zone for me. Like I tap into the children there so quickly. And there's one child there that like I can literally get him to do anything I ask him to do with the equipment and whatnot. And it's incredible. But at the Shanley, when I was sitting up in that attic area, I felt like I could see little bones in the floorboards. I wasn't getting children, but like I was getting this like image about bones in the floorboards, and I was thinking they were small bones, and that if they did rip up those floorboards, they'd probably find things they're not wanting to do.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Adam up there. I don't know. Oh, are you talking about Wilson? You talking about Wilson, or you talking about Shanley?
No, Shanley. Wilson Castle.
Shanley, yeah.
Positive. There's not really a lot of like bad in there.
No, I don't think so either. But you know, the serial killer factor, I don't know what that's all about. I really don't know.
I haven't
It's
done
weird.
a serial killer house yet either. So, well, Lizzie Borden. I was gonna say I haven't done a serial killer house yet, but I did Lizzie Borden, and I mean,
yeah, she wasn't. She only killed them. I don't think she was a serial killer. You know,
I am gonna get to the Villisca axe murder house this year.
That's another place.
I can't wait. And Sally House the same weekend.
Well, they're right there near each other. Yeah. I was just watching that show on them. Yeah. I want to go. This a lot of places, you know, you sort of exhaust the East Coast market, you know. We are going to be investigating a location that I can't mention on here, but it's closed to the public. It's an old it used to be like an opera house or something at one time, but we've got them coming on. They don't do regular investigations, but they're coming on the show to talk about the place and the paranormal.
Is it in like the Midwest?
What's that?
Is it in the Midwest, like North Midwest?
No.
Oh, no, I've heard of a theater, like an opera theater somewhere like in Minnesota or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love that. It's just, it's fascinating to me. It's fascinating. Like you say, the more you do it, the more you want to do it.
And it's so cool to see the different energies that each location holds too, because it's never the same anywhere you go. And some places aren't even the same when you go back. Like look at Conjuring House, like one night completely bone dry dead for me. And then New Year's Eve did not stop being active. Like it was active from the time we started investigating all the way till the time we went.
What kind of activity did you have?
The night, whistling, like you would whistle in there and you hear a whistle right back so quickly. Lots of talking in our Panabox, and we used Phasma box as well, and Necrophonics. Like we tried different kinds of boxes as well to just make sure that we were, or to confirm kind of what we were getting. And we were using like laser grids, and we were seeing things breach the grids.
Wow.
Another tool that I'm obsessed with is tripwire. Have you ever used tripwire?
I haven't.
So tripwire.
How does that work?
So every 12 inches, so I have the one that's every 12 inches, but there's, I think, one that's every 2 feet or something. I don't know the thing, but the one I have is, so every 12 inches for 36 feet, there is an EMF detector, and it's an individually operating light. So like it has to be touched directly for that light to go off. So not all of them go off at once unless something's running right through it, or, you know, each light goes off one at a time. It's kind of like, I call it like ghost Christmas lights, because it looks like Christmas lights in a sense, and then but each light is an EMF detector, which is really cool, and they're each a standalone EMF detector, which is awesome, because one thing we did with it at Wilson Castle was we did Duck Duck Goose, and we wrapped the wire around the circle of us sitting there, and we asked Elliot to pick who he wanted to leave the room and go out by themselves and do some Estes method. And we walked around the room, hand over head, duck, duck, duck. One light goes off right when we're right next to the person. Sent that person right out into the hallway. But really cool thing, the tripwire.
That is kind of neat. I've never used one of those before. That's fascinating.
I find a lot of people are seeing it for the first time with us too. It's not out there a lot yet. I think I've only seen it like on one show, and it was Kindred Spirits.
Could be, yeah. The other place too is they may have had one there, now that I'm thinking about it. White Hill Mansion in New Jersey.
Yeah, I've never been.
That's another neat place. That's a really fun place to go to. Yeah,
and on the bucket list at this point.
Yeah, I know Sam had said something about he had gone last year. I said, "Oh my God, you're gonna have an amazing time. It's really a great location." Some of these older, historic, abandoned properties are just incredible.
Yeah. I would spend every single day investigating if I could afford to.
Well, unfortunately, we have like these pesky jobs that we need to, which I really, um, they kind of get in the way of my hobbies, which is terrible.
Yeah. But ghost hunting isn't a real, it's not a real paying job. I'd have to have an event twice a week, every week to, have that as a sole
Oh
job.
my God.
But,
Yeah,
you never
I
know
mean,
what comes out
seriously.
of it. Someday.
You never know. I mean, you never know. I think it's great. I'll do an event with you. I told you that.
Hell yeah.
Sign me up. Sign me up. We'll do something.
I would love to do an event with you. I love working with
Yeah.
all different kinds of people, and I love working with all different kinds of mediums too. Everyone's so different in the sensitivity field. And I think that's one of my favorite parts of ghost hunting too with new people. It's like you get to learn someone else's gift. And I find that, I don't know if this happens for you too, but I
Mhm.
find that I'm kind of a battery for mediums as well. Like I feed them energy as well. Have you ever been around someone that you can feed off of, or you can feed in a sense? I hate the word feed because you're not like feeding it, but you're adding to their energy in a sense.
I think I'll tell you a story in a minute. Jane. Okay, so this is my friend Jane, and Jane loves drag queens. Therefore, she's here. I don't know that she's ever been to one of my shows before, but she came here just to see you. And of course,
Hi,
she loves
Jane.
this. Yeah. So anyway, I have never experienced. I would like to see what that's like. I'd like to see. You know, it depends on the location. So, like, I go into some locations and I'm really buzzed up. You know what I mean? Like, when I say buzzed up, you could feel the energy and it kind of
Yeah.
heightens everything. And sometimes it's not. But when I was in Scotland, Maria Schmidt, who owns Mysterious Adventures Tours, was we were together in Greyfriars Bobby. I think Greyfriars Bobby or Bobby's Greyfriar. I don't know. Whatever it was. It was the chapel in the cemetery. And I'm getting stuff psychically, mediumistically, but she does automatic writing. So I'm
Oh,
saying it and she's writing it. And she's like, get out of my head, because I'm saying it as it's already coming out on her paper.
that's so
And we
crazy.
were comparing. That was cool. That
Oh, I
was really
love
cool. And we crossed this spirit over. It was so emotional. People actually left there crying. The music was playing, the organ was playing. And as soon as he went through the light, everything stopped. The organ shut down, the lights went off, and they told us to go home. It was really like the place was shutting down,
that.
but it
Yeah.
was just the timing of it was incredible.
See, I love
Really
it when
incredible.
that happens at like an event or whatnot, and just something really cool to send the guests home with. Like that's something they'll never forget.
It was amazing. It was really amazing. And here's the weird thing with all this, these quote unquote abilities. I I have them. I do readings. I do galleries. I do that, but it still blows me away.
Yeah,
I don't know why I have it. I don't know why I've been given this. I'm grateful that I'm able to help people and to, provide some closure and whatever else we do with it. But I don't understand it. You know,
I don't think
I don't
anyone's
understand
really
it.
ever going to understand it in our lifetime, at least either.
Well, and we're all different.
That's the
The way
unique
I get
part.
something, yeah, I mean, the way I get it is not how you might get it or someone else might get it. It's just we all have different senses and they're all heightened at different levels and things appear different and then it changes. I
Yeah,
don't know about you. I mean, I know you don't do readings and that kind of stuff, but for me, it's been changing like crazy. I started out very, very visually and now I'm still visual, but now I'm getting like a lot of emotion and feelings. Um, and that's kind of stuff that never happened to me before. So it
I have
changes
gotten
over time.
feelings before, but like not necessarily. I can't communicate with them enough to do a reading for somebody, and I think that disappoints people a lot. When you tell someone you're sensitive, and they're like, "Oh, is my grandfather here?" And that's just not how my ability works.
Doesn't work that way.
It doesn't
Yeah.
work that way for me, and my ability really is only I feel like it's only really super active when I'm in places that are full of a lot of energy. And like, I do have a male spirit in my house that I see here and there. I do have, there's children's spirits that I've seen here and there. But I can't communicate with them. They don't talk to me. Like, it's not like I hear their voices or anything. I just know they're there. And
They're there.
Yeah.
And I get that. And I don't see them like I see you. I mean,
No.
people will say to me, like, "Can you see my grandfather?" I'm like, "Yeah, give me a shovel. I'll go find him."
Yeah, or a picture.
Because I don't see him that way. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work out. It's just not how it is.
No.
But
And
yet they
it's
will
just
impress on me who they
Yeah.
are.
Yep.
And sometimes I can tell you exactly what they're wearing sometimes. It's really strange.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of that either. My gift is so limited, and I've tried to like grow it. I've been taking like kind of some courses online. Um,
Mhm.
Somebody recommended me doing tarot just to learn intuition a little bit more, because learning the cards it helps you develop your intuition in a sense too. So I've started like learning some tarot just to see if it helps develop my gift even further. Because I really would like to be able to do readings for people. I can't do that right now.
Yeah, it takes it's so funny. I feel like for some reason I was on the fast track, but I know people that have opened up and it takes them 10 years, 15 years where they feel comfortable doing it because, it's really about stilling your mind, focusing on your breath and listening for what's changing around you. It could be the feelings, it could be, you ever like been in a room and said, well, why did I just think of that? Or why did I say that?
Yeah.
Something like that. It's almost that kind of thing. It's like, well, where the heck did that come from? Sometimes I've never heard of it before until it's coming out of my mouth.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I was doing a reading with someone. It was a group. We were in a medium circle, development circle. And it came out as fast as like without any thought, it came right out of my mouth. Like who lost a boyfriend? Like somebody lost a boyfriend or something like that. I had not thought of that half a second before, and yet it came right out of my mouth. And those are the things that happen. Those are the things that you'll find over time, but you have to watch for it because I probably missed it for years and didn't know.
Yeah. And it's so random like that. Like exactly like you say, like there are times where I've started to get like really nervous ghost hunting, like just scared, and all of a sudden I can smell my grandmother. So I know she's there, but I don't see her. I'm not communicating with her, but I know she's there and she's calming me down. She's giving me that, I can smell her, and I can it's an immediate calm for me. And she's come through a few times during moments like that. And I think that's part of like what I call my intuition too. Like you just know when something's there, and you know what it's doing, you know what its intent is, that that's the feelings that I get. And I get it a lot with children. I don't know why. I have no clue why
Yeah.
that's my thing, but
And that's your thing. Monique, we have about a minute and a half left, if you can believe it. We've zipped through almost an hour on this show. Can you tell people, while we just have a minute or so, how can we tell people how to get a hold of you and find out about? I know you said Monique Toosoon.
Yeah, on all social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, which I never use Twitter. And I do have my MoniqueToosoon.com, which is where you can buy any tickets to any of my events. And also you'll be able to see when I'm launching my podcast, which is called Ghosts and Glitter. And it's about being a ghost hunting drag queen and all my experiences. And I'm going to have some cool stuff coming to that too. It's in the early stages of planning right now. So, but also I do live events here and there very randomly now still, but please join me on a ghost hunt, because you'll never go back to ghost hunting without a drag queen.
Yeah, I tell you, I've never investigated with a drag queen. So
it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, we are going to do something. I'm going to tell you, we are going to do something. I'm going to say, let's make it the year 2023. We'll do something. We'll figure out where we can go.
Absolutely. And invite a bunch of fun people.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. Our guests next week are Lauren and her husband. And I'm having a brain cramp because what is their name? I know their name. Oh my God, don't come here. Danny and Lauren Perez. Good Lord. They make all the Ouija boards. Have a great night, everybody. Take care. and we will see you next time. Thank you so much.
You have been listening to The Paranormal Project with Scott Allen and Julie Finn. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. While you're there, leave us a rating and review so others can find out about the show. Stay haunted and go out there and explore the paranormal.